Hello, folks. I'm Detroit Miracle. Yes, and indeed. Hey, whatever happened to all of those Bruce Lee actors that acted and characterized themselves as Bruce Lee imitators during the Bruce Lee exploitation rush and craze? I believe it was through the 1970s and early 80s that numerous martial artists popped up and they imitated Bruce Lee on films. And it was a lot of Bruce Lee exploitation movies made during the 70s and early 80s. And it was probably at least five or six major actors or karate, kung fu experts, martial art experts that characterized Bruce Lee the best that they possibly could. So I wonder what happened to those actors. Did they ever get the fame that they were rightfully deserved and that they had rightfully earned in terms of portraying and characterizing Bruce Lee multiple times on films? And not to mention that those Bruce Lee imitators even took Bruce Lee's name. Yet many of them called themselves Bruce, but the last name sort of shifted. It wasn't their real last name was never Lee. It was always something like Lai, Le, Lo. Like so they would call themselves Bruce something, but not Bruce Lee in real life. So they changed their names along with their characterization so that they can match off screen as well. So when people see them off screen, they'd be like, wow, that's Bruce Lee. That's Bruce Lee, that's Bruce Lowe, that's Bruce Lau. But then people would still call him Bruce Lee anyway. They'd be like, that's Bruce Lee right there. He's one of the best Bruce Lee impersonators that there ever was. Do any of you have a favorite Bruce Lee imitator on film? They made so many movies during that Bruce Lee exploitation thing, or they call it, remember it was the black or exploitation genre, then it was the Bruce Lee exploitation, but that came around the same time as the black exploitation films. You know how you got all the action films in the 1970s that had lead black actors or black actresses. So the karate, the kung fu movies, that is, and all over the place had Bruce Lee's signature on it, his brand. Those movies were successful because those actors characterized Bruce Lee on film and they were imitating him. That's the only reason why people sat through them. But they found out, like I did, that those Bruce Lee imitators were actually skilled grandmaster fighters. They weren't just low-level fighters that had minimum training. Like those guys had actually trained to peak level performance and skill sets in order to mimic Bruce Lee's movements and fighting styles on the big screen as best as they could. So I think Bruce Lee was probably the best Bruce Lee impersonator or imitator, and he had his own fighting style, but he always called himself Bruce Lee, and he sort of had the Bruce Lee look. But I could tell that he didn't fight anything like Bruce Lee. Yeah, all martial artists and all kung fu fighters, martial art fighters got their own signature fighting style. It's like a DNA print, you know. It's like a blood test that can only match up to that person. So I think that all the Bruce Lee exploitation films, they paid Bruce Lee homage and showed him respect by having that many actors characterize themselves as Bruce Lee. You know, but they made a lot of money because those films started popping up as easy as popcorn pops up in a microwave. They were everywhere. Yeah, so yeah, I wanted to know like what happened to those guys. Hey, if you know, send in a word, and thank you. See you around.